Hello, and we are live. I'm just waiting for a signal, and we'll be good. Hello, right, all is good. Okay, this is Stephen from wonderful Wiltshire in England. It is Wednesday. It's 3 p.m. in the UK, which means that this week, and this week only, it's 11 a.m. Eastern. Normally we go out at 10, but you've got the clocks changed this week, which means that things are mixed up. We're back to normal next week. It'll be 10 a.m. Eastern next Wednesday. But for this week, we're out at 11 o'clock. Now, if you look at the card and read the card says basically, why do you need influencers in 2024? And we might extend that and say, why do you need influencers in 2025 as well? Was why does anybody need influencers? Well, there are many reasons to have an influencer on your team, either, well, basically paid or unpaid. I mean, there are 3 different types of influencer. There's an ambassador, a brand ambassador. So, you know, the A-list stars are all ambassadors for a particular brand. They get remunerated by the brand. They appear in adverts on television, adverts in the cinemas, adverts everywhere. Same is true on Facebook and YouTube. Brand ambassadors go out, like me today, go out live. Then you have basically, well, if I go over here, you do have, I'm going to bring my agenda, and you know, whenever we do this broadcast, I always have an agenda. So I'm going to bring the agenda in, I'm going to swap it over here, and there we have it. Now, there are 2 topics today. The introduction, which is what we're doing now, and we're going to talk about ambassadors, influencers, and advocates, and then the benefits of having an influencer on your team, which are many. Real interaction, time interaction and engagement, trust and authenticity, increased reach and visibility, interactive product demos, and event hype and product launches. Hype, well, factual hype, of course, and then storytelling and brand humanization. If you can say that an influencer uses your brand, then you're building credibility. And you don't need, you can have as many influencers as you want actually working on your behalf. Let's connect the chat. And I saw a comment a moment ago from Coco TV. So I'm going to bring that up on screen. Just give me a second to connect. And yes, we have a comment coming in. Hello to Coco TV, and thank you for joining me today. And the second comment, I do appreciate the fact that you're both here and watching live, and hopefully right now I can't actually read your name, but we do have your photograph and the fact that you're watching on YouTube. So welcome both. If you've got any questions about influencer marketing and live streaming, then please do ask. So we're going to look at what an influencer can actually do for your product or for your service. Now, it could be a physical product like this TrebLab speaker, or it could be your service. And we have plenty of influencers actually marketing services like insurance and things like that. And then finding an influencer. This is key. Where can you find an influencer? Influencers are everywhere. Even your friends are influencers. They influence what you do. But what you need is somebody who has a presence on social media. Somebody who's got a following on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok. Well, we can all have followings in different places. Now, my following is on YouTube and Facebook and on Twitter, because you need somebody who is known. And basically what you're doing is being a talent scout, and you're looking for talent which can actually help your brand. So First of all, you've got to identify the platform. Different influencers on different platforms. We all tend to specialize on certain platforms. Mine today, obviously, is YouTube. You've got to identify the platform, and in order to find somebody, you can either go from your own researchers or you can use search tools like Upfluence, Clear, and Tracker. You can check out for brand mentions and hashtags. You can look at what your competition are doing. You can network within niche communities, join communities on Facebook or on mighty networks which are relevant to your business and product. Now, this is influencers are not movie stars, comedians, or rock stars. Influencers come in all shapes and sizes from all the different countries around the world. Now, depending on your market, will depend whether you want an English-speaking influencer, or a French, or a German, or an Italian, or Urdu, or Afrikaans. Yeah, so many different markets that we're actually active in. Now, lingua franca of live broadcasting is English as a standard, and English will get you into most countries because a lot of people actually learn English as a second language. So they've got their own language and then they've got English, better than in the UK. This has to be said, but that's a personal point of view. So what can an influencer do for you that you can't do yourself? Well, the thing is, an influencer has influence, and as soon as you contact somebody, they can impress on you. Well, first of all, you want to find somebody who fits with your product. Yeah, if you're marketing, let's go here. If you're marketing a microphone, then you want somebody who broadcasts. Yeah, if you're marketing a hand cream, you want somebody who actually uses your hand cream. If you're marketing shampoo, you want somebody who uses your marketing shampoo. Always make sure that the person that you're actually contacting has an interest in your product. There's nothing worse than finding somebody marketing a product they don't believe in. I mean, I believe in OneStream Live. Yeah, I love OneStream Live. Genuinely, this is not because it's the best live video system there is at the moment, and at the price and its functionality, because you've got the live video studio where I am now, you've got the ability to play pre-recorded video, and I can bring in and do a broadcast from OBS to up to 45 different destinations. So yeah, so make sure that people who you approach are actually interested in your product. And we're going to go and take myself off full screen. And right, okay. Now, there are three types of influencers. Ambassadors. An ambassador is a brand ambassador, much in the way that I am for OneStream Live. And basically, they talk. I talk. If you ask me about live broadcasting, I'm going to talk about OneStream Live. Drop of a hat, I will talk about it. I'll promote it. Every chance that I'm given, I will promote OneStream Live. That's the kind of person that you want. You want somebody who eats, sleeps, and breathes your product or service. You want somebody who's going to be honest. Yeah. If there are any niggles with the product, then they will say. There aren't any niggles with OneStream Live, which means that I can be quiet in that regard. Influencers, and this is the real topic of our broadcast today, is to find influencers who can actually promote your product and promote it on all the networks, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn. Because remember, with OneStream Live, you can broadcast to Facebook, and then afterwards you can share it on all the other networks. So the power of live broadcasting. Influencers. Now, both ambassadors and influencers are paid. In other words, there is a cost attached to having an influencer or paid. I'll give you an example. I'm going to replace. I broadcast on Amazon Live, selling product. I'm an Amazon insider. I've been through, basically, I've been approved to broadcast on Amazon.com whenever I want. That means that I get approached to be an influencer because I am, well, first of all, the golden rule, don't call yourself an influencer, let other people do it. Okay. Not all influencers are that modest, but here we have, basically, this is in October. I got the message in October, and I'm going to put it full screen now so that we can all read it. And the message reads, I'm going to read this to you. This is somebody reaching out to me, and it says, "Hello, dear. This is Ethan from Anchia, mainly focused on the fitness. I want to invite you to do an Amazon live stream for our fitness equipment, like the elliptical machine and a desk treadmill. Do you interested in it? We can provide you with a free sample and a 10% commission. Feel free to contact me." So basically, I have been approached to represent a brand of fitness equipment. And it just so happens, it's of interest to me. I want to know when I decide to go with a company, I want to know that I can honestly get benefit from it, from the product. I'm going to use it. I'm going to talk about it. So I need to be able to use the product. So this is a request from a brand, and they're saying, introducing themselves and asking whether I would be interested in a particular series of products, and I would get a free sample and 10% commission. Okay, when I started broadcasting on Amazon Live, the first thing that happened is that I was approached by Treblab. And as soon as I'd opened my Amazon account, I started live broadcasting. Treblab contacted me and said, "Would you like a Treblab speaker?" And I thought, yes, I will. So you'll find this still appearing in my Amazon live broadcast 2.5 years later. Yeah. We were also asked by headphones, and basically I got sent these. Yeah. So being an influencer, and we say good morning tech community, which is a word that the Drew actually penned, and we say hello to Domino Entertainment and thank you. We are talking today about influencers and influencers talking about product. So I would talk about these earpieces, and I didn't pay a penny for them. So I don't pay anything. I get the goods for free. I talk about them, and as we've just seen, there may be a commission agreement as well. So I'm happy with that. You'll find that most influencers will negotiate with you. We all have our own terms and conditions. Yeah. So if you're looking for an influencer, be prepared to meet somebody who's going to meet your needs, but will have a price. And you can go comparison shop. You can contact several influencers, ask them what the price is. But the thing is, you're in the driving seat. When it comes to finding an influencer, you're in the driving seat because you can see them at work. Okay, let's go back to here and replace the media and go back to the agenda. Okay, so there's the agenda, and in a second, there's the agenda and me. Okay, now, ambassadors, influencers are paid. Advocates is somebody who has bought your product, loves it, and talks about it at every time. I will quite happily talk about my Aftershocks headset I love it. I use it every single day. It's great for running because it just goes over your ears like that. It only weighs 28 grams. It's waterproof and it's sweat proof. So I talk about this on Amazon all the time. But in this particular case, I'm just an advocate. I'm an enthusiastic user. I'm not being paid as an influencer. I'm giving my honest opinion, something that I bought, and I'm demonstrating it on Amazon. Okay, so that is basically the difference between ambassadors who never stop talking about your product. Influencers are hired for a particular project, and advocates basically will promote your product or your service because they love it and they're independent. You're not paying them, you haven't given them anything. And that's basically, if you can, this is where your customer records come in. If you track your best customers, you may find them on social media. When you do, approach them and thank them, because you find your products in the most amazing places on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and of course YouTube. Right now, an influencer can live broadcast like I'm doing now and actually interact with the audience. Yeah, so Ladru is here, we're on entertainment, and we have guests here as well, and guests here as well. So we can interact. Now, you can't, just an important point here, because I'm live, everybody can actually comment whilst I'm live. I can show it on screen. Not so on the replay, unless you happen to be using OneStream Live. When this show finishes at 3 p.m. Eastern today, the repeat of this show will be broadcast using OneStream Live, and it will be broadcast out to all my social media destinations. And I will be there because we have within OneStream Live unified chat, which means much in the same way. I can't actually show anything on screen because it's a recording, but I can listen to the recording with people and I can bring the information in. So I could read the message and type a reply in the comments. So real-time interaction, engagement through live broadcasting, through recorded broadcasting is what you're looking for. This is not something you could do yourself with ease. What we're talking about is somebody outside your company who you bring in, you teach them about the product or service, you give them the product or service, you handhold them as they get used to it so that they become users. What you need is involvement. Okay. Right. And interaction and engagement. Now, as far as that's concerned, you can have a team of people actually handling the comments. If you have an ambassador out there and they've got a big profile, then you might get a lot of traffic. That's the whole idea, to generate traffic, to increase your reach and visibility. But the thing here is, key to all this, people can tell, we can tell when somebody's being genuine. If I said that this is the most brilliant mouse in the world, that's not enough. What I need to tell you is this headset from Aftershocks, which is just absolutely brilliant. Not only that, I can tell you about it. I can tell you that it's coated, it's waterproof and sweatproof. It's got a recharging point, which is there, which is proprietary. It goes over your head like that. Its safety feature is that you can still hear. You can still carry on a conversation with the person next to you whilst wearing these. So, in order for this to work, in order for me to be believed, I have to be persuaded myself. So what you're looking for is somebody who is appreciative of the quality of the product, the power of your product. They need to be on board. I'll leave the headset on. I sometimes forget I'm wearing it. It's only 28 grams. The purpose of having, let's just go here a minute. The purpose of having, I'm going to try and go here again. The purpose of having an influencer is to actually increase your reach. When you are broadcasting as a company, you can broadcast on your company profile page, you can broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, but on each of those, you have to build a following. Yeah, start from zero, and the idea is that your following goes up and up. If, however, you hire an influencer, they bring their audience with them. So straight away, your reach has increased. Now, whether the influencer broadcasts on your media or their media, results are the same. I mean, I remember once I was invited onto a broadcast out of Vietnam, and I was talking about live broadcasting, and I was invited there because I've been found discovered. I'll talk about discovery in a minute. And over to Domino, and Domino is saying onboarding and in real-time management through social media and live stream production. Correct. You've got to onboard. You've got to get somebody on board who knows about your product. I know that, right? Just a point. There is a delay between your typing the comment in and it arriving in my studio, which can be between 20 and 30 seconds. But I think I'm still talking about the point you were talking about. So if you bring in an influencer, they will have their own following on whatever social network they sort of actually honed in on, and they can introduce your product or service. Yeah. So if I go here, let's go back to the agenda. So option 5, increase reach and visibility. Now, one of the things that can do, and I'm just going to take that off there. I can see something on my phone. Just a second. I just need to go over here. Yeah. I can do a product demonstration. That's what I do on Amazon, a product demonstration, where I bring the product along and I talk about the product and I demonstrate it working. And what I do when I'm demonstrating these headphones and this, I can actually, well, when I'm demonstrating this from Trevlove speaker we met earlier, I can actually play this through my microphone. So I can demonstrate the sound. Yeah. Link it to my phone. I could do a live demonstration. So I can do a live demonstration of virtually any product that you send me. Well, the gym equipment I'm looking forward to because we saw earlier that somebody wants to send me some gym equipment. Okay, so let's switch over again. And interactive product demos, unboxings are still popular, and you send somebody something in a box and live on screen. Just a minute, I'm just closing this box. Live on screen, they unbox the product and talk about it. Yeah. So basically what you're actually doing is emulating what the customer will get. Yeah. So you can actually say, right, in the box, you get the cable, you get the widget. Yeah. So you're actually showing a customer what they could get. And there's still quite a few of those on Amazon Live. And that's basically one way of actually marketing. Yeah. So coming back, interactive product demos with comments coming through, as we can see, and the products from the Drew, the comments from the Drew. Okay. Also, when you launch a new product, if OneStream were to launch a new product, then there would be a product promotion and people will be involved and quite possibly DJ and Joe would be involved, and over on other systems, Grant would be involved. And with a product launch, you can actually hype it up because you can give a launch date and then you can broadcast in the run up to the launch date and get people involved until the actual broadcast itself. So you do it step by step. Now, one of the things, major things about an influencer is that an influencer is human. And this is important. It's not a bot. It's a human being using the product, talking about the product, answering questions on the product. Yeah, you may well, because you're not limited to just having one person on screen. You could have somebody from the company on screen at the same time. Especially in the early days of doing broadcasts, you could have your influencer on screen and a member of your staff. Yeah, and whenever there's a question the influencer can't handle, a member of your staff can handle it. Yeah. But influencers are human, and what we love doing is telling stories. Every product has a story. I mean, I love going out with my mobile phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now you can get the S24 Ultra, but the principle's the same. This takes the most brilliant. That's me. I'm actually broadcasting live on the phone at the moment. That's the way I tell that it's actually working. I can actually see myself. I can see the quality of the broadcast. I'm not listening to myself because that wouldn't work, because then we get feedback. But I can talk about a Samsung Galaxy series and about how you can get quality photographs, you get high definition video, you can make and take phone calls, you can have your fitness software, tracking software on there. So many things you can do, but I can tell you stories. Yeah, I mean, if I let's just take one, telling stories. This is a Fitbit, and I've had the last 8 years. I've had 5 Fitbits, and I talk about Fitbits on Amazon. My partner Angelica, I bought her the same model as well, so we've got 2 Fitbits, and we used to go out walking and then jogging, and then we joined Park Run. Park Run, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, 5-kilometer course, 3.1 miles, walk, run, and jog. And we used our Fitbits to actually measure the distance and how fast we'd gone, how many calories we'd used. Yeah. But Angelica went from this Fitbit. This is how it started. Angelica went from the Fitbit, which she used to train, all the way up to 2 months out from the London Marathon. She invested in a Garmin, which is professionals meter. So this has done me well. I still use it every single day, measuring everything that I do. So Fitbit, this is, if I can pass it up again, this is the Fitbit Charge 5. So an influencer can actually tell, an influencer can actually tell stories. I didn't mean to that. An influencer can tell stories on your behalf and make the brand human. Okay, by talking about the brand, you're making it human. And if it's an ambassador, it can be anything you do, influencer for a project, and they can bring your story to life. Yeah, if I was to give you, I recently started a series of broadcasts just to go for a minute. Let's just go over to here. I've recently started a series of broadcasts for Mind, in aid of Mind. Mind is a UK-based charity. I'm doing this pro bono. I'm doing this because I believe in the charity, and basically it means that I'm on a learning curve at the moment. I've got to learn all about the charity in order to talk about it, but I'll promote them on Facebook and YouTube, in fact, everywhere I can. And what I'm doing is I'm raising donations for Mind, yeah, through live video. And that's because I believe in Mind. So let's just bring this back here. You are watching Stephen. This broadcast is powered by OneStream. That's what I want. Okay, I put that one. Okay, and I'm going to take that one off. What happened there? Yeah, right. I confused it. So this is all powered by OneStream Live. Now, it just runs through again what an ambassador can actually do for you. They can give you real-time interaction and engagement. They can give you trust and authenticity. They have to be believable and credible. And I think also, there's something that we can't really, they've got to be seen as trusted in the product range that you're actually doing. They have to be authentic. If I do get the gym equipment, then I will use it first. And this is important. In order to talk about something honestly, you have to be a user of the product. Okay. Through that, through your influencer being authentic, you'll get increased reach and visibility because they will bring to the table their own reach and visibility. Just let me. That works, yeah. They'll bring to you their own reach and visibility. They're capable of doing interactive product demos, and they can take part in product launches and do the hype. And at any point in time, at the drop of a hat, they can do storytelling because influencers are people. Yeah. Just a minute. My desktop seems to have moved. Just a second. Oh, I know why. Just a second. Right, we're back. Okay, my favorite camera decided to go AI on me and start moving about. So the camera, by the way, is an Obspot, and that's how I look normally. That's how I look there, and this is me when I'm set up for the live broadcast now. Okay, chest set over there. Right, so the second half of this is basically where do you find influencers? Influencers are everywhere. On social media, on live streaming. And how do you find them? Well, I've been discovered 4 times by brands. And basically, I know why. It's a combination of 2 things. One, my YouTube channel, which I always broadcast on 2 or 3 times a week. People had seen my YouTube channel and seen my way of broadcasting and decided. And the second way is because I use their product already. So I was already an advocate before I became an ambassador, an influencer. So where can you find your influencers? Okay, so we're going down the right-hand side now. We're talking about finding influencers. I'm just going to go over here. So we're right now. Now, if you're looking for influencers, the first place to start is to find your platform. Now, when we talk about platform, let's just go here. That's going to do a screen change. When we talk about platform, basically it's where you want to broadcast. Now, there are two things here. You want to broadcast where your audience are. If your audience is on YouTube, it makes little, well, it doesn't make any sense really to broadcast on Facebook. If your audience is on LinkedIn, it doesn't make any sense to broadcast on YouTube. So decide where you're actually going to broadcast. Yeah. Now your influencer will extend, as we said earlier, your influencer will actually extend your reach to their social media channels. But start with your own social media channels. And I'm just going to go here so you can see that full screen. Okay, and I can as well. Now, the other way you can actually find influencers is through search tools and certain platforms. There are 3 platforms that I know of where basically influencers register who they are, what they live stream about, what their charges are, and they have, of course, their own portfolio, so you can actually preview them. So if you go to Upfluence or Clear or Tracker, then you'll find influencers. Now, that's not to say that you can't seek your own influencers. Yeah. The quickest way to find an influencer, providing, let's just say you've got an account on YouTube for your brand, okay, is to actually search for your brand on YouTube, and you'll find basically everybody who broadcasts about your brand. Yeah. If your brand is on Facebook, search Facebook for your brand name, and it will show you all the people who are already broadcasting. Yeah. The other thing is, this is legwork. There is no substitute for this. There's no quick and easy way to actually find the right influencer. And I would say that as a company, you do it as a team effort. So you get several persons' opinions as to whether they would be right for your brand, because you've got to fit with the brand. Yeah. Live broadcasting is what I do. So that's why I can be an ambassador and more. Okay. Let's go back, and I'm just going to take that off and come back, and we're still here. Okay, so look for mentions of your brand, and when you're marketing your brand, do encourage people to use hashtags as well. Right, one of the things you can do without anybody knowing about it is you can monitor your competitors. The thing is, you don't always know the type of person you're looking for. And if you look at your competitors' broadcasts where they use an influencer, you can get some idea of what you're looking for. Now, don't ever poach somebody. This is not about poaching. This is about finding your own. Basically, you want to find somebody who's enthusiastic, who's personable, who can tell stories, who can leap out the screen. Yeah, for you. And if you get to the level where you think that guy or gal, apologies for the gal bit, is interesting, I want them to represent your brand, my brand. Yeah. The next thing is that I go picture in picture again. This is just a ruse so I can actually read the screen. Okay, so analyze your competitors and see what they're doing. And there's no problems with copying somebody. Yeah, you can't basically clone the host, but you can get somebody pretty close. The other thing you can do is you yourself can actually network within niche communities. So you can join groups wherever you find them, on Facebook, on Discord, and you can watch and learn. This is all about watching and learning. Networking within niche communities. There must be a community around for your product or your service. Join the forums on Facebook, become involved, become known. That way, when you approach somebody in the community to represent you, they've already heard of you. This is networking. Right now, this is just from my point of view. When you're looking for somebody to represent your brand, you're looking for somebody who is personable, approachable, friendly, honest, talks about what they're using honestly, and can have some enthusiasm when they do. That's the kind of person you want on your team. Kind of person who you'd want to meet in the street to actually talk about brand. You give them the knowledge and they can talk. Okay. So, but the point there was basically there are obviously basically, I'm going to say this out loud. I didn't think I would. There are people who are expensive to hire and people who are not. I'm going to suggest that the or nots, some of them may well be worth a look. It's not the most expensive product in the shop you want. It's the one that works best for you. And micro influencers, which is what they're called, not because they're small, but because their influence is not as big as the A-listers. Micro influencers basically can do the same job for you. You just help with, well, I'm just saying concept. Okay, take somebody you don't know who's good on camera and ask them. Right, that's the other thing. Okay, let's just, I'm going to go back to there for a second. Okay, so we're back to the agenda. And now, send a proposal. I'm going to change that. And I'm going to add this. And I'm going to go over here. This is proposal I actually got in October, and it says, "Hi there, I hope you're doing well. I want to touch base regarding my previous email about a potential partnership with Boost Surfing." Right, okay, so basically, how do you approach people is my point here. And if I'm being approached, I want to know the company, I want to know the website, I want to know a contact name, I want a short précis of what your company is about. I mean, I can go off to the website, and I want to know why you chose me. Okay, now flattery works every time, but a little hint as to where you saw me. Did you see me on YouTube? Did you see me on Facebook? Wherever you saw me. Now, when you're approaching people, remember that you are a buyer and you're looking to buy people's services. You make yourself interesting. You don't make an offer straight away. You want to get a discussion going. What you're looking for is not a one-off. You're looking for a long-term relationship. You want to bring somebody on board. You can agree terms, but not at the first meeting. Leave that to at least the second meeting and get to know who you're talking to. Then make an offer. Now, as I'm working on Amazon, I know that I'm going to get proposals from brands because they see the shows on Amazon and they want to be represented. I'm quite happy to, but I only accept offers where I can use the equipment. I would use the equipment. Okay, now the exercise equipment, I love to use that. Yeah. So I'm going to say yes to the exercise equipment and no to the surfer guys because I live miles from the sea. So let's just go through that again. I'm just going to go back to the top of the shop and bring this back on stream. Just a second. Let's go add that to stream and replace, and then put it full screen. This show has been all about influencers in 2024 and 2025. Influencers can help your product. They can show your product to a new audience. They can explain things. They know how to present. They know how to represent your company. So the next thing I'm going to bring up is the agenda, and we're going to quickly run through that. And I'm going to take it off solo, and I'm going to bring it over here. Okay, so we've looked at what influencers can do for you. They can increase your reach. They can do demos. They can do product launches. They can tell stories. They can humanize your brand. You can find influencers on Upfluence, Clear, and Tracker. You can search everywhere, brand mentions and hashtags. YouTube is obviously, I'm biased, but YouTube is a great place to go and find influencers because YouTube is, well, it just is. Okay. Or TikTok. Well, no, YouTube. Let's stay with YouTube. The more you get involved and the more that you already know your own product. What you want to do is to find somebody who's congruent with your product, who can do a good job in promoting you in 2024 and 2025. Influencers are good for your business. So this has been Stephen, live from Wiltshire in England. I'd like to say thank you for watching today's broadcast. I'm back next week at 10 a.m. Eastern. Take care, enjoy your week, and goodbye for now.